Yo, yo.
Konnichiwa celebration. Giving people a few minutes to get in here who want to get in here. I got the recording started though. I was gonna listen to my wife yell at my kids. She said if they get A's, she'll tell them she loves them. Mm-mm. You guys decided on Sunday for that run?
Yeah.
Okay. I might try to see if I can find something to do tonight. What do you think about them apples, dude? Hmm? Hmm? Definitely set looks good, I will say. For the challenge one. Anybody know when the ToES stuff comes on in the Celestials? Is that this Tuesday or next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday.
My, that's when I gear my prot. Let's see.
Your pro what?
My prot wear. Kinji, Messi said they could make it. BZ Trog, Keys, Chanty. Oh, Chanty messaged me. Let's see what he said. Please record. I'll be absent. Maybe. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna. You parse gray and normal? Yeah, I'm not gonna talk to you. Don't. Well, I'm gonna share my screen. Alright. We gave people, what? 2 more minutes, and then I'll get started. Kenji, your warrior friend hit me up.
Yeah, he said he was able to chat with you for a bit.
Yeah. This is gonna try to give it a shot. Anytime somebody says they're giving it one more shot with the olds, I do plan on hearing from them. So
Yeah, he said he posted his there was a couple people absent from the run they're supposed to do tonight, so it wasn't looking great.
is it a 10 man?
Yeah, 10 man.
And they already replaced you?
I wasn't running with that group. That so after our 10 man split up, that he went to that's a group of his old friends he played Wrath of the Lich King with.
Ah, okay. What up, Euro? No? Okay. Good job, Euro.
What?
You're so retarded.
Whatever, dude.
You wanna
Are we
play?
doing normal elite?
What?
Are we doing normal elite?
Normal elite?
Y'all?
So there's normal mode, there's heroic, and then there's elite. There's three. This is the only boss that has a hard mode.
I'm aware, dork.
So which one are you
When
asking?
you're
Should
on
I have
normal,
normal?
you can still do the hard mode for 503s. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, no, we just want to fucking get this boss out of the way. This boss doesn't matter. It doesn't drop tier. It doesn't drop weapons. It'll be next week. This one will
He
be
does
on
drop weapons.
whose weapon?
Casters.
No, they can fuck off.
Jesus.
They're not even real people, dude. Anyway, we'll get started. So Monday's plan is to go into ToES, and we're going to focus on 2 heroics. It's going to be the dragon, Sulong, and Leishi, the bobblehead, afterwards. We're going to do normal Shaw and normal protectors. Next week we will get protectors, but we're going after elite. The main focus for this week is just to get Heart of Fear finished. We don't. We just want the tier and the weapons off of that boss, which will be nice, and then we can also say that we're done with Heart of Fear, and ToES is our next focus. Next week, ultimately, Protectors, we'll start with ToES first, go after Protectors Elite. The biggest issue with that one will be the groups and people messing up the groups. That's what we the officers talked about, and people just, we saw with Amber Shaper, right? That's a pretty simple fight if people do the mechanics correctly, but we stumbled on hitting 2 buttons, right? So, oh shit. That's kind of our mind. So I'm gonna go through the strats as if we're doing the elite. So these are our strats that we're gonna use every boss, and these will be our heroic strats, because it doesn't make sense to present normal strats. Okay. So for this fight, we start with killing Regalia. This boy, we got to make sure we're kicking. Well, I'll have you take the 2 bosses. Your damage is just ramping so much, Swamp, and stuff like that. So I'll have you take the 2. That way you'll get more revenge procs. Make sure we're interrupting, killing Regalia. Once Regalia dies, I'm going to taunt our boy Asani off you. So Asani squash banana. So we'll get rid of these boys. I'll take this guy. I'll move into the middle, and you move out, and then you and I will do a swap when stacks get to a certain point. Basically, just do a box move, so you're moving like this with him, just to stay kind of close. You can do the ring if you want, but like they're going to be this. I do counterclockwise because we're going to do the movements of him for the outside when you see the markers at the end. When we get this boss, we're going to be getting the cleansing waters. We need to switch to it, kill it. We need to purge and dispel the debuffs. The other thing that's going on is we'll have 5 groups of 5. They will be killing and being the closest to those the littles. Okay, they need to be soaking them. We're going to have we'll go groups 1, 2, and 3. We'll do 3 soaks. Then group 4 we'll do 3. Then group 1 we'll do 2. Group 2, 2. Group 3, 2. Then group 4 we'll do its 2. We'll go to 5. We'll get all those guys charged up to 9, right? And then we will finally do group 5, which will be healers and tanks. And we will go to 9. And at that point, if the last boss isn't dead, group 1 can start again. But if it's not dead, healers will probably be and will be dead. So make sure we're interrupting, make sure we're purging off the heal, make sure we're switching to cleansing water, make sure we're soaking the ads, not getting them too. Our boy dies, then whatever tank has the lowest stacks will grab a homeboy, and basically we'll move to the corner. Over here, we'll drop the big AoE effect. We need to move right away to the next spot, so he's on the edge. And basically, it's moving around the room, utilizing it. The group will be rotating, and we also still have to do the ads. That's the fight. The tanks, there'll be a raid debuff. We'll have healing cooldown set. Jordy in his video, if you watched, talked about how he had cooldowns back to back for 9 minutes. I'm not going to put his, but I will do the TLDR of the protectors. We're going to watch that real quick just so I
Welcome
make
to
sure.
a TLDR mop guide for the Protectors of the Endless.
have it.
For anyone who loves complaining about
Plus, I like
padding.
Steve
This is the first
Harvey.
encounter in Terrace of the Endless Spring
got
and
white
has 3
teeth.
bosses. When a boss dies, the others gain a new ability with a damage buff and heal to full. So this is a good fight for your dirty
You
padders.
should
You
probably
can kill
do
the
the
bosses
full
in any
video for
order,
this
but
one.
only
He
2 matter.
posted this
The
is
elite, which
incorrect.
rewards better loot, and the
Do the full one from his thing?
He said his order in here is incorrect for the non-heroic kill. So if you want that order, he said he corrected it in the full length video. He put like a post out on his YouTube.
Videos.
So, like the 8-minute one. That one at the beginning.
That
That has
one?
all the guides
Throw
in
some
one.
AoE
Yeah,
CC
he
on
said
them
he
to
fixed
stop
it
the
in this
fear.
one.
And Unstable Shah adds deal half before the first tick. When with a
Okay.
damage buff and heal with a damage buff.
Here we go.
With a damage buff and heal to full, so this is a good fight for your dirty padders. You can kill the bosses in any order, but only two matter: the elite, which rewards better loot, and the easiest for heroic progress. For the elite order, start on Regale with the off-tank holding the others away, and assigning 2 kickers each for Asani and Regale. Cowland throws out permadot, so this is a healer problem. Regale makes a few players pulse AoE damage, so move out if you get it and dispel it ASAP. And Asani gives one boss a buff with a hot, so work those trigger fingers to purge it before the first tick. When Regale dies, swap to kill Asani in the middle of the room. He spawns corrupted water that buffs the bosses, so kill it ASAP, and it gives anyone nearby a haste buff when it dies, so don't be in Africa. Cowland starts dropping pools under him, so kite him around the outside, and they give a stacking damage taken debuff, so taunt swap if it starts hurting. Then when Asani dies, keep kiting Cowland as the pools spawn with range stacked in the middle. He drops a large orb that pulses fall off damage, so as soon as it drops, get the fuck away, and range should be 30 yards away from the boss at all times. Rotate healer CDs as the permadot gets harder and the tanks will be hurting, so kill him before you die. On Heroic, you now get ads spawning from one direction that try to reach and buff the lowest health boss, but buffing the closest 5 players when they die. If a boss reaches 5 stacks or anyone reaches 10 stacks, you'll all be fish food, so this is how to deal with it. Split the raid into 5 groups with the highest DPS in Group 1 and Group 5 being healers, tanks, and the one guy who...
Schnurp. That's Schnurp right there, if you guys were wondering.
Yeah.
There it is.
does less than the
Maybe
healers,
not
but he's been
anymore.
in the guild since vanilla. Stack the bosses with the current soak group on the ad side and everyone else in the other. First,
So for the soak groups, we'll have it assigned, and we'll have that person have a marker on their head, and that group, you know who your marker is, and if you see your marker move, you go with that marker. Okay. Melee, you're just killing ads and soaking for the thing. So
groups 1 and 2 take 3 stacks, then 3 and 4 take 2 stacks. Then groups
I don't
1 and
think
2 take 2 stacks, and 3 and 4 take 3 stacks, for a total of 5 each. Then rotate those 4 groups every 2 additional stacks until they all have 9. Then group 5 will take 9 stacks in a row, and if the boss isn't dead by then, group 1 can start the order again. The easiest boss order starts with killing Cowland, so the permadot drops when he dies, reducing the raid damage. Regale now uses Lightning Storm, expanding rings for you to dodge, moving outwards from the middle. Keep kicking Regale and Asani, kill the corrupted water, dispel the boss hot, and dodge the rings. Kill Regale second, and when he does, Asani starts casting Overwhelming Corruption, ramping raid-wide damage until you kill them. Rotate healer CDs once it starts hurting, lust it up, and end the fight so you can learn it again on hard mode.
questions on protectors. We'll have MRT notes with assignments. The biggest thing again for that, once we go after that on her on Elite, is just the groups. It's going to be people like not. It's just mechanics. We will adjust how many healers we have and stuff like that to make the kill go better. Okay. Sulong. So I have, as you can see, I have dark and light phase here. In dark phase starts, the tank will be facing it away towards blue marker. DPS will be behind it. Light beams will be there. When you get double digits of the debuff that goes out, you're going to want to run through the beam. As we cleanse ourselves, the beam will shrink and go away. In dark phase, there'll be small ads that can be itty bitty ones. They have low health. They could be CC'd, stunned, rooted, knocked back, things like that. We need to kill them so they can't eat our beam. When we're getting close for the timer of going from dark to light phase, we'll just let them eat the light. It won't matter. The buff will go away, or the debuff will go away when we go to light phase. So we just want to put more damage into the boss. Once there's also like ground effects that come into play. Don't stand in them. The giant purple swirlies don't, and then there'll also be a debuff that we need to cleanse. There'll be a healer assigned to cleansing the boss and dispelling the boss always. We need to just make sure the boss is always not taking damage when we're healing it and stuff like that. The frontal, we're going to use an external and one of our defensives. We'll switch every one swamp. And then we'll just break down like we do for Will, like these are your cool externals, these are my externals, and we'll just have that sorted out for us. Dark phase is pretty easy. We'll probably kill him in dark phase. But when we go to light phase, well then the boss will be faced this way. The tank, nobody's tanking him at that point because he's a friendly. but there will be the big ad, and you're tanking it in front. There'll be some healers. The healers will be up here, and then some melee that are not assigned. We'll have groups assigned for split for these quadrants. It's basically a quarter chunk that these little ads will spawn. They beeline to the boss. You need to kill them before they get to the boss. They can't get to them. The big ad, once we kill it, it takes damage from being breathed on. Typically, we want to kill it before the breath lands. Schnurp, you're probably going to be giving your symbiosis to Toilet, so he has Solar Beam too, so both of you have it. And
Sick.
we'll Solar Beam these ads so they don't cast their fear. And we just keep them stunned / CC'd while they get breathed on / AoE'd down. Healers will be in front. There'll be 3 beams that 3 healers will not be out or in front. They're going to get the 1500 increased. We're going to work out. We'll be bringing a Holy Priest, and the Paladin will be juicing. He's going to reforge for haste for this fight. We're debating on 6 healing this fight, just for trying to put as much healing into the boss. Healers are going through logs and deciding if they want a 5 or 6. But typically we want to come out of the healing phase. In night phase, we'll probably take him down by like 25-30%. Healing phase, do another like 50% hopefully if we do 60, so that'll be 80% hopefully, and then kill him in dark phase. I think we're gonna lust the healing phase for the healers, especially if we 6 heal. And yeah, the ads don't go away when we transition from light phase to dark phase, so we still have to clean them up. And then it's a rinse repeat. There's no different thing. And then it's basically picking up aggro, facing the boss way for the breath, killing ads, moving, getting dispelled, cleansing your debuff. This fight is pretty easy. I don't suspect this takes us more than 30 minutes. We will now jump to our Sulong.
Sulong is the second boss in Terrace and has ult.
Split lust.
What's that?
They split lust.
What
The
do you mean?
healers don't take it off rip, and then you lust the healers when the light phase happens.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. We're gonna give it to the healers in
No,
light
but you
phase.
do no. You lust both groups. They're just healers don't like the healers are basically doing something to not get lusted at the beginning, and then they're relusting them later in the fight when it's light phase. At least that's what the fastest groups did.
Alternating phases,
Will you
changing
link
every
me
2
one of those
minutes.
logs?
During the day, he's
There's 2
friendly and
lusts
needs
in
to be
here, I don't
healed,
know.
and at night,
Cause like,
Let's see. Maybe they lusted ad or pets. I don't know. Let me double check.
this is I just grab who's.
Yeah.
Top the raid, please, for Rejubes.
Turbo, Zetopius.
Watch night.
Well,
Square,
So here's
square is to the
Dayphase.
left entrance
did it
side.
really
Diamond is to
slow.
the right entrance side.
Yeah, they 4 healed.
X is to the right of exit.
well, the fastest
Triangle
one.
is- Get out of the fucking mushroom. Get out of the mushrooms. Don't be in the back of it. GS lost.
Chanty, I know you're gonna watch this later, but you need to look up the tech about
Healing this first one.
being able to juice your
Make
mushrooms
sure you
for
know where you're
heal.
going and be ready to handle your ads and responding.
That got
Oops.
hotfix. They
I
can't
need
heal
this
as much as they used to.
Oh, they hotfixed it. Okay.
The next one
Make sure you're dispelling
the ghost.
You have
It's,
to
it's
dispel the
still
voice, please. Okay, Shamaniac, please watch
They
the
lusted
spells
on
the raid.
pull. Who did? If you see they're sated.
I'm pretty sure, like I said, I'm pretty sure everyone lusts on this boss. And they just don't lust their healers, and they lust them later or something.
How do the
group
healers
is
keep
terror.
Make sure
from?
you stay topped, boys.
Look for
Need
this.
I don't know.
That'd be my question. That's why I mean like
You
I'd be
they
interested-
leave, you summon them, they take the summon at a certain point in the timer, which would be after the lust, so like at 1 second maybe, and then the lust happens at 2. Like, I don't know, maybe they do that.
Okay.
Big guy to
to-
grip.
Boom boom. But
he's hostile like an abusive stepdad. His health inverts when he phases, so either heal him to full or bring him to 0 to win. Starting with the night phase, he has a frontal breath with a damage taken increase, so tanks face him away and swap on each cast. And if you need to take 2, pop a defensive and you'll be fine. Nightmares are fear pools around a few range players, so spread out not to fear other people, but it can be dispelled. And the raid gets a stacking dot, so clear it by running into a sunbeam, getting smaller when people use it. Clear the debuff before you start hurting, or around 15 stacks, but on heroic you'll need to clear more often. If you have a load of shamans, you can stack near the sunbeam and drop a tremor totem before the fear, then everyone clear at once.
They lost
And on
the
heroic
healers.
you get ads that try to destroy the light, so hard swap to CC, grip, slow and kill them before they
Those are
reach
the
it.
small
During the
ads
day
we're
phase,
talking
swap to
about.
heal the boss and deal with a bunch of ads. The boss has Sun Breath, damaging ads and buffing players in a frontal cone, giving mana and a healing increase, so grab the buff before blowing those cooldowns. It also gives 25% primary resource, so everyone stack in front of the boss for that sweet power spike. Embodied Terrors put a heavy dot on the boss and players, so dispel it ASAP, prioing the boss if you don't want to be here forever. The ad can be stunned, so keep him stun locked while you nuke him down before he becomes stun immune. When it dies, it spawns 5 small ads that cast a fear, so kill the big ad just before a breath for the boss to kill them all for you. If you're too late, you'll have to kill them yourself, but they can be interrupted, so throw some AoE CC on them to stop the fear. And unstable Shah ads deal high damage to the boss if they reach him, so spread around the room as their top priority. On heroic, not much changes, but you get additional light beams that give extra mana and a 1500% healing buff, dropping over 6 seconds. Unfortunately, it doesn't stack with the breath, but if you have insane burst healing, grab it and blow your beefed up load. The ads from the sun phase won't despawn when the phase changes, so clean them up before swapping back to the boss, then keep killing or healing him until you get that loot.
Alright.
Juku,
Yeah.
it's literally, they stand 40 yards away. They start on the opposite side of the boss, behind like the wall on the stage, and then they lust the whole group and start the fight, and the healers like run 40 yards back into the fucking fight.
I mean, if we
What?
need to min-max it, we can. It's not.
I mean,
it's not something
it's
I'm
not-
against. 100%.
What do you mean? It's a simple thing that literally gives you significantly more potential
So-
for boss damage in
sounds
general.
good.
Like, why
Just-
would you only want to lust a small portion
Yeah.
of the group, or not lust a small portion of the group, even though they are important too?
Sounds good.
As simple as stand far away healers. You have nothing to do at beginning of fights generally, anyways. So like, and getting a lust later on is way more beneficial for them.
Yep.
During light phase.
Sounds good. But that's Sulong. Anybody have any questions? Other things they saw? Concerns? The biggest issue I see with this fight is people just... I don't feel we'll have them. I think we'll get this one pretty quick. So, it's pretty idiot-proof. Cool. Alright, we're gonna move on then. Here we have our boy Leishi, whatever, one of them. We're gonna the boss will be in the middle to start. We'll face it away. I was seeing groups switch at 14. I was seeing them have to go higher and use defensives and stuff like that. It's just basically you and I feeling it out using externals. So don't be in front of the boss, you'll get a frontal. We have to move out after a taunt swap. DPS will be stacked on the butt. We're going to have 3 hunters on the outside getting outside of their... He'll have an aura ring around him, you'll be able to see it. Them being out gets a buff, a debuff that if they bring it in, they debuff the boss. Every, is it 20 seconds? He does a special. It's either 20 seconds or percentage. But anyway, the hunter needs to move out and not debuff the raid, especially if it's the pushback. There's a pushback. It does damage to the raid. It does more if you don't run against it. So if you just stand there and take it and channel, you're going to just get walloped. So you need to run against it. We'll have healer cooldowns going at that point. That's the healer cooldown. That's one of the specials. The other special is the protectors. It'll spawn 5 protectors. We will only need to kill 1. We'll have a DK grip it. The off tank, who is not currently tanking the boss, will taunt it. And the other ones can be CC'd. People who can CC are warlocks can banish. Shamans can do their bind elemental. They can be nova'd. They are only a physical. They're a melee DPS. So they can't do a ranged attack. So they can be entangling roots. They can be hodged. They can be blinded. They just need to be CC'd, and we swap and kill one. Once one dies, the rest of them die, go away. The other thing that some guilds were doing was using Mocking Banner, and then doing a rotation, but the warrior who does the Mocking Banner has to use Die by the Sword, so they don't get hit by the ad, and the tank has to be quick to pick up the closest one. DKs will glyph that grip does not taunt. DKs will use the glyph so they can grip one in and not taunt. We'll have one DK assigned to grip, so there's not multiples coming in. We'll kill it. That's that special. Periodically, he will disappear. As you see, the quadrants, triangle, X. Then on the assignment sheet, there will be range assigned to do an AoE, so that's Blizzard, Rain of Fire, Volley, those things. We need to pull them out with an AoE effect. In the video, it says he'll port back. He doesn't. We need to bring him back to the middle. So the current tank will taunt and bring him back. People need to be out of the way of the path of him bringing him back in. Keep doing that. The different hunters will bring in the debuff on one side so as to not debuff the raid. We never want to have that on the raid. And then they'll just rotate out. Healers need to be aware of these three hunters and spend a little bit more attention to them. At 30%, as the boss gets lower health, he speeds up his frontal, the tank debuff. So tanks have to be better about swaps. You might have to eat more. So that's us using more defensives. At 30% is when lust will happen for this boss. So we lust, we finish him up. This one, again, I don't foresee us having many things go on with that. So we'll just put this in.
Leishi is the third boss in Terrace and only has one phase. The boss will chain cast Spray on the main tank, splash damage with a damage taken increase, so don't stand on the tank and swap before you die. Every 10% health, the cast gets faster, and you'll need to rotate defensives and externals near the end to survive the high stacks before you can swap. Every so often she disappears and you need to use AoE spells around the room until you find her, so when you do, everyone spam shit on top of her until she comes back. She then teleports to the middle and pushes you away, dealing damage until you deal 4% health, so instant casts and mobile ranged are great. If you run against the pushback, you'll only take half damage, and on Heroic, if you don't run against it, you'll probably fucking die, so run for your life while healing, trying to figure out how to heal on a treadmill. Every 20%, the boss goes immune and spawns a bunch of ads, but you only need to kill one to return to the fight, and the others despawn. They can be hard CC'd, so use anything you have like traps and banish, and everyone focus one to get back to the fight. On Heroic, anyone too far from the boss gets a stack of Scary Fog, a dot that makes everyone, including enemies, take 10% increased damage per stack. Assign 2 mobile range to gain around 10 stacks, and rotate standing on top of the boss to debuff her. Just don't touch the tanks, or they'll be sent back to the lobby. When she disappears, no one can gain stacks, so you want to find her before the ones you have drop. You can take a third tank to rotate with stacks to debuff the ads during the intermission and the boss during the pushback to finish them both quicker. Just don't debuff the raid or they'll finish in the wrong way. Keep the tanks alive, lust near the end after the last intermission, and kill the boss while the tanks take a bigger pounding than Shaq's wife.
Alright, that's our second heroic that we're going after. I don't foresee us taking too long. This is heroic tier shoulders. That's why we're emphasizing it. It's pretty easy. Questions, comments, concerns, or things we saw that I didn't mention. All right. Last but not least, Shafir. So this is phase 1. This fight is long and it's stupid. If you get frazzled or easily, like, you're gonna fuck us. It's the same thing for just a long time. Phase 1 is till 66.5%. You have the frontal area. The tank who's in that little beam is the current tank. They're there till they get ported. Then the next tank will step in. Thrash is when we need to use a defensive, either our own or call for an external. We'll have enough warriors that we should be using a Vig for every Thrash. There'll be ads out in the bullshit outside of our little cone that we have. They're just doing splash damage that you just need to move out of the way of. We're not DPSing them. We're going to focus on moving the boss getting out of that phase as fast as possible. Melee, you can run out and be behind the boss, but you, when the frontal breath, when there's 3 seconds left, you need to move back into that cone, otherwise you'll be one shot. So if you die to that, you either A, lose your privilege and you have to be parry-gibbed because, you know, you can't be trusted to do a basic mechanic, or B, if I have a ranged, I'll just bring another ranged. But it'll pick 5 people, and you'll go to a little platform. On that platform, there'll be an ad. Does it have... No, it doesn't have the ad thing. So let's just go... Let's watch this thing real quick, because it's going to talk about that too.
Show of Fear has 1 phase on
I'll
normal and
pause.
2 phases on heroic, and you'll need 2 to 4 tanks depending on your damage. During phase
We're going to be running 3 tanks, by the way. At some time, Swamp, 2 of us will have the Naked and Afraid debuff. So we'll try to rotate based on who has what cooldowns available, because that person just basically takes the debuff and kind of goes in a corner and talks about their feelings.
1, the active tank should stand in the middle circle so the boss fixates on them and doesn't go nuts. It also makes a safe zone to protect against Breath of Fear, which hits anything outside of it, so if you aren't in it, you'll eat shit. For tanks, he casts Thrash every 4th attack, hitting 3 extra times, so be prepared for the extra damage. And Eerie Skull deals random splash damage, so ranged stand further away and spread out. He spawns a couple of ads on either side of him that have a frontal shield and shoot bolts at people's feet, so don't stand in them and kill them in between the breaths. He also casts Ominous Cackle, sending a tank, healer, and 3 DPS to kill a panda in a shrine. The panda...
I don't know, baby. Okay, so this is the island.
shoots frontals in different directions, and if you
There'll be a Foji weak aura on your thing. When you go there, we'll give all tanks assist, and you need to mark the entrance so people have a reference. So when the Foji little thing shows up, like let's see if when Cow gets ported, I think he gets... What the fuck?
Son. Combat.
Boys are
Who's starting?
No. Is this their wipe?
Narok have
One standing.
Nah, we're good.
two.
Does he not even get sent down? There goes.
Okay, you can start thinking
Alright.
about your cooldowns. That was third cackle.
So they have it already marked. There's the Foji thing right there. It says that is, and that's the start zone. That's a clear.
Yep. Breath of Fear in 5, 4.
If you
3,
get hit by
2, 1.
two of
breath.
the mechanics in a row, you'll get feared. You need to be dispelled. You'll take more damage. These orbs need to be eaten. Primarily, the tank will be doing that. They need to be eaten within 8 seconds of them dropping. Otherwise, they'll heal him. So you can use a defensive,
You know, it's in here,
AMS,
you
things
can
like
CD
that to
boss,
eat it. It does damage
10
to you, but
seconds.
you know, he has to do it. You're basically doing this till he does his channel. This
Breath
is a
in
Death
6.
Blossom. That's the thing where you have to line a sight behind
Breath
the
coming
pillar.
out, 2,
But as you
1
see,
breath.
as they're moving, it's telling you where to move. and
That's
it's
up.
also showing you on the Foji
we'll get
which
bats up
place
here.
is clean.
I got him.
Here's the
Last
Death
platform
Blossom.
for
It'll
face.
have that little circle.
The
Okay,
Murphin
Davis
one's so much
platform,
better
if
than
you
the
guys-
Foji one.
Murphin's one's what?
So much better than the Foji one. The Foji one's like react. The Murphin one just tells you the rotation ahead of time. So you're just like, oh, I stand in these two the whole time. And the Foji one's like, all right, right now react to it. This is where the next one is.
Yeah.
Son, you can CD boss
Like so much
now.
worse.
Yep.
I mean, if you like that one, you can peel it out of the Murphin one. And we can delete the Foji one. And just share the Murphin one.
Or just learn the rotation. I mean, you don't need the
Six.
That's all,
again.
that's all.
The
Breath
Murphin
in
one is
3,
just like the
2,
rotation. If you
1
had just looked at
breath.
the actual rotations and found the most optimal place to stand, like that's what the Murphin one is. Foji is just like some UI thing that doesn't tell you anything ahead of time, so you can't be proactive. You just have to basically react in the moment to, oh, this is the new one, unless you know where the safe spots are because you know the rotations.
Yeah.
And the Murphin
Hit
one
twice
just
to be
tells you the whole where to move the whole time, like right when you get there. Instead of, oh, now move. It's like, okay, you're going to be on this one and you're going to move to this one. And that's all you're going to do the whole time. And so you just pre-plan. It's a little bit better, but you don't need it. You can just learn the rotations and you don't need any weak aura for it.
Yeah.
Feared, so avoid them if you can, as they are in set patterns. On Heroic, learn where
So these are the rotations: left, south shrine, back west. As he's talking about, these are the things to learn. So once you get in the habit of it,
to stand
you'll
in
know
each
it.
shrine using this handy chart to avoid being feared, and healers be prepared for the damage if you choose to tank one of them so you don't have to move that much. Death Blossom is heavy damage in all directions, so hide behind a pillar until it's over. And as you damage the panda, chi orbs drop that heal them, so pick them up to prevent it. When you kill the ad, you'll be sent back with a buff and a fear immunity, but if it's during the breath, pop a defensive and get to the safe zone. If the shrine group takes too long, you'll lose another group, and if you only have 2 tanks, the boss will enrage and you'll probably all fucking die. On Heroic, the cackle happens more often, so take 4 tanks until you can nail down the shrines, but you can gigabrain it by leaving a DPS on the platforms to help out with the next group. On normal, that's the whole fight, just keep going until you kill the boss, but on Heroic, you get a second phase at 66%. Everyone ports to a big blue room and restores health, mana, and cooldowns, so stack behind the boss and blast while nothing is happening. To make the phase easier, use a few pulls to find and mark the middle of the room, using the minimap and ad spawns as a rough guide and adjusting until it's as accurate as possible. For tanks, whoever had the boss on the phase change gains pure light, a 30% DR with a fear immunity, but it roots you in place, but you can pass it around using your extra action button, which you will need later. Thrash now hits 6 times, so you'll need to pop something every time, and he casts a massive frontal on the main tank, so face the boss away. And lastly for tanks, Naked and Afraid gives you a 100% reduction to armor, dodge, and parry, so swap when it happens, or if you have a spare tank, get them to take it and go and stand in a corner. He spawns water spouts under people's feet, so move out of them. Huddle in Terror is a dot that horrifies a bunch of people, so either pass them pure light to dispel it or spam some heals. And if more than one healer gets it, blow a CD to keep people alive, or have your hybrid specs make themselves useful. Every so often, the boss submerges underwater and reappears under a random player, spawning a cloud on them and adds from the edge of the room, spawning 1 more ad every second cast. The ads will fixate on whoever has the pure light buff, getting a speed increase over time, and if they reach them, they'll get insta-clapped. Have a DPS take the light and stand on the middle mark until they group up, then have 2 other DPS stand on either side of the boss and pass the light back and forth to keep the ads near the boss while you cleave them down. Whenever you pass the light, the ads deal a hit of raid wide, so if you have too many up, you'll be getting trucked every time you do. If you have more than 3 to 4 ads, you should stop using it to clear Huddle in Terror, unless it's on a healer, but you'll be taking increasing damage the more the fight goes on. And if you have too many ads to cleave before the next set appears, get some AoE going to clear them up before you get overrun. Keep killing the ads while chipping away at the boss until you eventually get him down. And that's it. Congrats on killing the Shah of Fear and clearing the Terrace of Endless Spring, a long ass fight that'll need a side video to keep the zoomers from tweaking out. If you want some more info on the fights or just...
So we're gonna go back here. So the things that are gonna hang us up in phase 1 are the shrines, obviously. So people getting used to those, eating the balls, getting back. But the thing I'll say in phase 1, we lust on pull and you full send everything. We could be at 68% and your cooldowns could be coming back up. You still send your cooldowns. Because when we go to phase 2, everything resets and comes back, even bloodlust. Okay? So send it all, send it all, send it all, get us out of this phase. Phase 2 comes out. We find out where the middle of the room is. And we're going to have healers kind of throwing it back and forth. So once we get there...
I've seen healers and hunters. So.
Yeah, we'll decide. Like...
Progress did all hunters, who did all healers.
A couple guilds did hunters, a couple guilds did healers. It's whichever. DPS stacks behind the boss. You move for the spouts. You don't stand him. You also move when he goes underwater, away from his stuff. You stand in the healing rain. Tanks are up front. Don't get hit by the frontal. And basically you passively cleave. If he goes underneath, that's the sign that we're getting more ads. We need to the set of ads needs to die before the next set of ads comes up. So we have to strike a balance, and this will lust after he comes up from his first underground phase. Okay. Pop our cooldowns in the early when we only have like 1 ad or there's no ads up. We'll throw the light to break the huddle. So we'll toss that around because there's no other damage going out besides the tank damage. So we'll use that. As I was watching tons of fights, like this was 4 healed. And healers were still comfortable with their mana pools. So it's not a lot of damage. It's just basically your tank is taking the damage. because these are just being kited because they're chasing the light. So just, you can't get caught with it. It's just throw it when they get pretty close to you. This is the long part of the phase. It's just rinse, repeat, doing the mechanics over and over and over again, and then, you know, making sure your ads die, because at times you'll have like 5 of them up, then 6, and we might need to call for AoE them down. So be ready for that. But yeah, it's chipping away the boss, doing the same mechanics for a long period of time. And that's phase 2. I'm so sick of this. Okay. Any questions or things that people saw, thought about, or wanted to bring up for this fight?
I will say, every group I looked at, there was a decent bit more damage done to Sulong than healing, and that was across the board, across all the different groups that took different amounts of healers. So like the fastest groups that took 5, versus even the groups that tried to full send a 1 heal phase with 8 healers and they couldn't, their damage was still more than 8 healers doing healing. And that was just comparing first and second, or for the 2 first phases. Obviously.
You're talking about Dragon, not Shah, right?
Yeah, Dragon.
Okay.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's almost, if your healers are the ones carrying you, your group is really bad, it seems like. Because even 8 healers weren't out DPSing the DPS, or out healing the DPS. And that was progress. So, like, doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
And Newman did 7 and they weren't even close. Their healers weren't, at least, so I don't know.
Okay.
Not like a fight where DPS cannot do boss damage, I feel like. It's gonna be important.
Yeah. So, anything else anybody wanted to ask, add to, things like that? We're getting close to 45 minutes. Don't want to make this stretch out, but I do want to answer any questions or field any suggestions.
I got a quick comment about protectors. So when a protector dies, the others heal up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone went and looked, but Warcraft Logs has also stated any damage done to a protector that gets healed is not going to count. So should be a pure single target fight, essentially, outside of classes dotting to get more, embers or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So please don't just sit there and cleave. Like, actually just single target it down, because that's what matters.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that, like, if you get more resources to do single target, then cleave or do the things to get you that. But otherwise, you just need to focus on killing the kill target and soaking when your group is up. So, good comment. Anything else anybody wanted to add? Okay. That being said, my door's open, Keys' door is open. Send tells if you have questions, but show up knowing the fights. Again, the plan for Monday is Protectors normal, Shah Fear normal, Heroic, Sulong, and Leishi go back to Heart of Fear and finish Empress and finish out Heart of Fear. Then the next week we plan to focus on clearing ToES and getting phase 1 fully down. So we always want to focus on getting as much gear as possible, but we also want to bring in as many people that are going to do the mechanics properly. So know the fights, figure out how the barrier between tunneling and being ethical. So you need to do as much damage as possible while still doing the mechanics. That's the line you need to get as close to as possible. All right, everyone. I appreciate you coming to the Strat Chat and people watching it afterwards. Please, please, please ask the questions before the raid. We need to get these bosses down and focus up and continue our progression. So I'm going to turn